Cat.
Hey, hello there. How are you? All two of you. We are the Monday Movie Club. This week we watched the new Marvel TV show, as you can see on Mark's backdrop there, Ms. Marvel. I'm Frank Gaffney. Here with me is Joel Finster. He's awake. Mark Wotitzgartner and his Ms. Marvel. Annie King. So cute, that Annie King. And Amy Goldman, who is in a 60-40 dilemma this morning. And now we have a special guest, Nan Gelman, who loves everything Marvel. Isn't that correct?
That is correct.
Let's see how well you did on this one. Let me start by saying that like every MCU TV series, this one was 2 episodes too long. Fight me on it. Okay. But from what I read, it's a relatively new comic, like just like 2013. So comic mavens, Joel, Mark, did you read this comic?
No, she's too new for me. I mean, I know of her.
Right.
The few things I've read that she appeared in, but I didn't read her comic.
Right. Mark G?
I stopped reading in 1993, 20 years before she was around, so no.
So you're illiterate. Stopped reading.
Yeah, stopped reading, yeah.
Okay, so the series follows the Ultimate Avengers fangirl and daydreamer, Kamala Khan, that's her, as she navigates the perils of high school with her best friends Bruno, who kind of disappeared for a while during the show.
What's a Disney thing? We can't talk about Bruno.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. And Nakia. No Nakia joke?
There's 2 of Nakias now in the Marvel Universe, because there's one in Black Panther as well.
Wow. Okay, so along the way, she finds this mysterious bangle, which was passed down from her grandmother in India. And so she decides to add it to her Captain Marvel cosplay? How do you say that?
Cosplay.
Cosplay?
Costume.
Like costume play.
Yes.
For the inaugural Avengers Con. Is there really a thing? Avengers Con?
There's a comic book convention every other weekend. There's an Avengers Con in there somewhere.
Yeah, I asked Derek to join us because he was so full of knowledge on the last Marvel thing, and he's going to Terrificon.
Yep.
Something.
Yep. I'm not there.
Terrificon right now. Okay, so the bangle ends up endowing her with superpowers that come in handy as soon as she puts it on. They need her. Okay, so this is an origin story, and we love an origin story, of course, but it's also a coming of age story, which is a tale as old as Spider-Man.
It's 16?
Yeah, isn't she? He was 16, 17, right?
Yeah, no, there's a joke in there because Spider-Man, the character is like, 60, 70 years old at this point, whereas the character itself is.
But he's still
15.
16.
Yes.
15, yeah.
Okay, but here we have a new wrinkle in that Kamala is Pakistani. And, but it really was great seeing all the Muslims not be stereotypical like from 24, where they're only murderers. And so, and they had all different personalities. That was great. And not have to be one type of Muslim that we always see. But because of that, Kamala is struggling to find her place in the world, even before she gets superpowers. So, okay, so on the plus side, this girl, Iman Vellani, who got cast when she graduated high school, she's so charming. She's so fun to watch. Is so thrilled to be there. And it just comes out of her pores. You can just tell that she's so excited to be there. And I even liked most of the characters around her, the friends, the family. But once that she had to go to Pakistan, the show completely took a dip for me. I was like, episodes 4 and 5 felt like they were completely a different show. It was like, what? What's going on right now? And then, of course, her parents go from, you cannot go to Avengers Con to, sure, go save the world. We love it. It was quite the head-spinning 180 there. And, but even with 6 episodes, the clandestines seem like they got the short shrift. I'm like, who are they? What is going on now? It felt like they needed.
Nan, lower your radio.
Adam 12, breakup 19. There's a 411 in progress. Handle code 3. The clandestines needed to be fleshed out a little bit more because it felt like they were so underserved here that the impact wasn't, it lessened the impact of them. So, and that their escape was pretty goofy to me too. So Joel, is the clandestines like a thing from the comic books? Are they a group that existed before Wanda? No?
Wanda?
Sorry, Ms. Marvel.
I honestly don't know. I don't know that much about her background. The little bit I do know about her origin story was changed for the TV series. So in the comic books, I know she was connected to the Inhumans. They had their own ABC TV series for 8 episodes before that.
5 minutes for 5 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much. So
and was one of the worst TV series.
Well, it's definitely the worst of the Marvel TV series. As to whether it's the worst TV series ever, we could debate that.
That distinction goes to.
Oh, off the top of my head, I don't have one off the top of my head.
Oh,
the snarky remark would be Lost.
Yeah,
nice.
or Gotham.
I was going to say
Alright,
Gotham.
Yeah, Gotham. Good Lord. You watched it for 6 years, didn't you?
5.
Felt like
Felt
6.
like 6. So I
All right, so
tell you if the clandestines are part of their.
So did you feel like you wanted to know more and the show didn't really?
Yeah, there was
definitely
definitely some depth and backstory missing to that aspect of things.
Yeah, and I really felt that it would have heightened the ending if we were more involved in it.
Yeah.
Okay, so and I'm not even sure how I felt about the entire community coming together in the end. I mean, is it okay? That's great, or good Lord, it's eye rolling. And then in the end, we find out it wasn't the bracelet. Really, it's that she's a mutant, and here we come to the X-Men, right?
Yep.
So, although we already saw Patrick Stewart,
And you saw an Inhuman too.
Yeah, Black Bolt was back from the Inhumans in Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah, him. Okay. All right, so I'm giving it 3 stars. Not the best Marvel series, but not the worst. I mean, it was fine. Like I said, those episodes 4 and 5. And again, you know, I do appreciate that they were, you know, giving all the history of India and Pakistan and, you know, through that love story. But it really felt like it was a different show altogether. And you were kind of
Felt like it was
a little puzzled with 4 and 5, weren't you? You were like, what?
Yeah, I watched 1, 2, and 3 twice. Then I watched 4 and I was like, and so then I had to watch 4 again and I was still like, so then I had read the synopsises and all that stuff. And then when I got through 5 and 6, I appreciated 4 a little more because I did like the way it all of a sudden became a Marvel show, just like Wanda. When Jeff Pliskin said, oh, he was so interested, he was going to watch it to see all the different ways they did TV shows. And we were like, no. It turns into a raging Marvel show, just like this one did.
Right. Keep going. It's your review now.
It's very hard for me to review a TV show, even if I watch episode 2 and 3 times. I don't remember what the hell I thought. I don't remember all the little minutia. I remember at the beginning thinking I wasn't hating the fact that it was all full of high school kids, because, you know, we're such old people now. That didn't bother me at all. I thought it was all cute. I loved the animations that would pop up everywhere.
Yeah.
I loved some of the humor. I remember somebody in the first episode in the school said, you should go home, but not right now. Just, it was little things like that. But then the humor, a lot of times I thought, oh, they're trying really hard. Like, I hate the typical joke, again, another typical thing that I hate in film, when someone says, you're not going out like that. Here, wear the costume I got you. So, I mean, I enjoyed it. I don't know how many stars I would give it. 2 3/4, maybe.
I actually thought the mother was very cute.
Yes.
And that she was, you know, yes, she was stern, but then, you know, but she was still supportive. She wanted the best for her and Kamala, and I felt like, you know, she trusted her.
Yeah, and I did like that the family was there for her when she became the superhero and they weren't all scared. No. like they were at the beginning, they
Right.
completely did a 180, and I like that. But I don't know, I liked it.
And even though you watched the first 3 episodes twice, you're not watching the second half twice.
I watched the first 4 actually twice, and I didn't really need to because I was back to knowing what the hell was going on. And I enjoyed 1, 2, and 3, so I just wanted to really get them in my head. You can see where that got me.
Nan, did you watch it more than once?
No.
No.
I watched it once. I believe it or not, Frank, I agree with a lot of what you said. I know that's a shock, but I do.
Okay, go ahead.
I liked 1, 2, and 3. When we got to 4, 5, and 6, it became a different show. And there wasn't a really smooth transition between 1, 2, and 3, and then 4, 5, and 6. And then at the end, they spring this, well, you have an abnormal gene, all right, that she's actually a mutant, and it's not really the bracelet, but it's her. I loved the history. I learned a lot about India and Pakistan. I didn't know. I really,
Yeah, I actually looked it up. Said, is this a real thing? Yeah.
so did I, because I
Yeah.
had never heard of that.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed. I enjoyed the mother, the family doing a 180. I thought was unrealistic. I mean, you don't go from, you can't go to the Comic-Con to, I made you a costume
Yeah.
and go out and save the world. The actress was phenomenal. You're right. She just loved it, and her enthusiasm was terrific. The last scene,
And I even watched, I'm sorry, did you watch there was that little making of after
Yeah.
the show? And when they were at Avengers Con, I thought she was gonna cream her pants, really. She was
Yes.
so, oh my God, everything here is terrific.
she
Hi,
was
Danny.
very, she was
What
very
is he
genuine.
getting? What is he getting?
A TV mount.
Oh, I thought maybe it was your breakfast tray.
She was very genuine
Yeah.
in the role.
And I think much like Tom Holland is such a great Peter Parker, she is right along those lines for me.
So I have a question. Was she an actress who auditioned, or was she just a fan who auditioned?
I think I read she was a raging fan of Ms.Marvel.
Yeah,
But she
I don't
was-
know that she did any acting though.
No, I
No.
think this is her first thing right out of
Yeah.
school.
Yeah, that's what I read too. She was, somebody told her about it. A friend of her told her about it, and she said, I got to audition for this role.
Yeah. And there
But
were
she
like
was a huge
5,000
fan.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
There were like
and-
5,000 kids who auditioned.
The only
they-
other thing, real quick, I'll say is the last scene where she switches places with Captain
And
Marvel.
we get to the post-action sequence later.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You have to know our format, Nan, if you're gonna play.
I'm sorry.
All right,
Okay.
so what's your final assessment?
I'd give it 2 3/4.
Oh, look at that. And what did you think? I'm saving the fanboys for last.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I love that it taught me some history. I actually Googled it and looked it up and everything. So I thought that was really cool. I like the way they portrayed everyone. You know, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, because they felt like well-rounded people,
Yeah,
not just, yeah.
I didn't know.
And
Danny,
Joel, I think I read something that the whole reason it came about was because Stan Lee felt that the comic books were underrepresented and he wanted an Indian story. I thought I read that somewhere.
And you know, anything is possible. You know, it's 2013 when this happens, or it was really like 2012 when the
Yeah.
behind the scenes is going on. And I don't
Oh,
know
so
if
you're
it was-
saying he was senile by then?
Yeah, well, not that he was senile. I don't know how much influence he had on the actual publications at that point. you
Right.
know. So
He just had a title. He was a figurehead basically at that point.
Yeah. Sorry, Ann, go ahead.
yeah, no problem. I did love all the artwork and everything. I thought that was really, really cool. It was
And
interesting.
I even liked the Bollywood dance. That was fun.
Yeah, and the wedding.
Even though you expect it, right?
There
But
had
it
to
was
be.
it was fun. But it was fun.
And I didn't know Danny had said that there's a huge, like maybe one of the biggest Pakistani communities in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
that's why they picked New Jersey. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
And does and every movie have to get Bruce Springsteen's name wrong, or is it just he doesn't have to be in the movie?
But she loves him.
No, she loves
Jovi.
Bon
Bon
Jovi,
Jovi.
Brown Jovi.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was
really
great.
funny. Yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed the scenes in Pakistan also. So that's someplace I've never been to, so it was nice to kind of see it.
And someplace I will never go.
But it looked interesting. Looked
Alright.
really interesting, and I thought it was good. And then it kind of, I didn't understand the whole damage control people. They didn't really go into it. Like, how do you ignore a direct order and then destroy an entire high school with kids and with the kids and everything?
And
And
you know that there's always the trope that there's in any government agency,
Right.
any fiction story, there's always one rogue person, whether they're
Right.
a good rogue person or a bad rogue person, to go against the orders and do something stupid.
Right.
So,
And
need
in,
that.
and in comics, there's usually one made up, some fake government organization that's after the main and
Yeah.
protagonist or whatever.
yeah, but I don't think they went into it enough. Like, what were those guns that they were shooting?
well, here's the thing: is you damage control has only appeared, if I remember correctly, in Spider-Man: Homecoming, because they shut down what Michael Keaton was doing at the beginning of the film. Damage control comes in and cleans up the mess that the superheroes leave behind. So they were cleaning up all of the
Lateral damage.
technology and stuff like that, and they keep it for themselves. And then other government agencies, play with it, fine tune it, and then turn it back on the public in some manner. So
Were those weapons the weapons they took from the Atari? Is that why they were
Yeah.
able to?
Yep.
Okay.
or it was most likely the Chitauri, but it could have been any other. They could have had Skrull weaponry or any other aliens that we've seen show up so far.
Wait, where was the Skrulls from?
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. Okay, so we're here. So it could be the Skrulls. It's Marvel.
Yeah, no, I mean, they were a little, the part that the woman played was a little silly, going into the mosque and everything, and just, it seemed very abrupt. It didn't seem like it meshed well with the story.
Right.
But overall, I'm at 3.25. I
Wow.
enjoyed it. It was fun to watch.
Nice.
Mark, are you at 3.25 too?
I'm aligned right where you are, Frank, actually. And a lot of the comments that you and everyone else have already said, I'm going to try to skip over so I don't repeat it. But I'm at 3 stars. I thought it was definitely aimed at 15-year-old girls. So I'm not the demographic, but I still had a lot of fun. It's a Marvel show, like Marvel movies. I'm a sucker for it. They had a lot of fun characters. It was cute enough. I thought originally, especially in the first couple episodes, that she had really shitty powers, especially compared to Captain Marvel. I was like, man, if I finally got superpowers and that was it, I would be pissed.
Well, I was also equating it to The Greatest American Hero. Remember, Joel?
Yep.
That she didn't know what she could do or not do.
Sure.
So
And
her powers might be limitless, but she doesn't know the extent of them.
And I'm glad that it showed a progression
Yeah.
especially in the 6th episode, where she now had like a force field and all that stuff. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think I also read in the comic books that they gave her different powers. Joel, is that what you were saying?
That's to my knowledge. Yeah, that's correct. But they're not. It's not that they're completely different. They're like in the comic book, she has the ability to stretch like Mr. Fantastic, and they kind of did that a little bit with like the giant fist that would come around.
Yeah, when she caught the girl
Yeah.
at the beginning.
When
Yeah.
she said bigger pie or whatever that was,
Yeah.
which was like, really?
Yeah, well, because I think she can also grow and shrink as well.
Yeah.
I don't know her full range of powers in the comic books. As I said, I'm unfamiliar with her.
Yeah.
But
it was the word that they used, and I thought, oh my God. And then I read that actually exists in the comics, that she says that word, bigify, or whatever the hell word it was.
It's not like Apache Chief on the Super Friends, where he has enough chuck and grows 1,000 feet tall.
Yeah, I got
Wow, I
nothing.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
So for me, I know everyone already talked about the family and the parents. I love the parents. Dad was very likable. And the mom, I really thought, and yes, I agreed that at the end doing a 180 was a little unrealistic, but I loved her as an actress, as a character. That mom was so believable and relatable. It created a real family dynamic that was very believable for me. The fourth episode, I was okay with. I liked it well enough. It seemed like a little bit like, what's his name? The Winter Soldier and Falcon and Winter Soldier, like when they kind of went around and all these new organizations pop up. So like the Red Daggers or whatever, it just seemed like another thing to make up. I was fine with it. But the fifth episode, I really had a problem with. I hated, I thought it was very predictable. You know, when the whole time I kept saying to Danielle, she's the one that's going to have to lead with the lights. You know, it's going to be her, because they pulled it right out of Harry Potter 3 with the Patronus. It was really him, not his dad. I was like, this is that story. I know it's going there. And I was right. And Danielle was like, shut up, let me watch. And also just the whole, you know, someone murdering a woman, stabbing a woman, a child lost. I mean, man, as a cop, you could say that, right? You have a throng of people and nobody sees this. Nobody sees her using her powers there in front of everybody. I thought the writing was just very lazy and silly at that point. What else did I have? Yeah, that's really it. I just it needed better writing, but it was still very enjoyable. 3 stars. I don't know if I'll watch it again, but I would.
I don't know if I watch it again, but I would.
But I would.
All right, so Joel, not being familiar with the comic to begin with,
Yes.
this was kind of a new experience for you.
Yeah, this was, you know, very much so, but at the same time, not as much as you'd think. Just
As the tropes are in.
lots
full
of
force.
comic book tropes throughout the whole thing, which is
Right.
fine if they're done well. I don't mind them. It's when they're done stupidly that they become a problem. I really
Was there one here that you were like, oh.
not that I can think of off the top of my head. Admittedly, we have only watched the show once. Usually Natasha and I try to, you know, we watch it weekly, and then once it's over, we go back and watch the whole thing in one shot, and we just haven't had the opportunity to do that yet. So we will.
It's been off for 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, so have I, but
So is your hot water.
yeah, so is my hot water at this point. But it was a lot of fun. It's I think Marvel is settling into this weird 6-episode arc for every show. It feels forced at this point. It's like, tell the story you need to tell in however many episodes you need to tell it. And
Right.
This is one of those stories that honestly, it could have had 2 less episodes, or it could have had 2 more episodes. My biggest problem is, at the end of the day, whoever the villains are kept changing. Oh, it's the clandestine. Oh, it's not the clandestine. We're going to kill them all off. Oh, it's the Red Daggers. Well, they're not really villains. They're this. Oh, it's, you know, damage control.
Yeah,
And by the
this
time
is part of the thing that I was saying. By underserving the clandestines, there was no real villain.
Right. Well, the villain becomes damage control, or specifically Agent, you know, Lady Agent, what's her face, who I can't remember her name. And it's kind of like, okay, we've seen that before.
Yeah,
I don't care about that before. I want to see more of this.
Not a strong enough choice.
Yeah. And I think the problem that most of us seem to be having with the transition between the first 3 episodes and episodes 4 and 5, we're getting into the history of her family, and more specifically getting that background history of India and Pakistan and the partition, would have been smoothed out had they kept with the clandestine as the villains. I think that would have lent itself more to smoothing all of that out, and you could have had damage control as a secondary villain, you know.
Or even if there had been more hints of it.
Sure.
In the previous episode.
Exactly. And
like it was like she got thrown back, and it was like a very jarring.
Yes, but
now
I think
here's the whole core dump of everything you need to know.
Right, they could have done it better. It's interesting because this is the second time that specific backstory of the partition has come up in a science fiction show in the last few years. because it's actually one of the really good episodes of Jodie Whittaker's first season as Doctor Who, involves that whole storyline. And it's a fascinating thing, and it's done much better there than it is here.
India and Pakistan.
Yeah. Have you seen, I'm assuming you've seen the first season of her.
No,
No, you haven't.
because we moved and BBC wasn't in the package anymore.
Gotcha. Okay. Well,
Hold on. So Frank, you have a smaller package now?
Yes,
He has no package
I have
now.
no package now. We
Oh,
only have
oh,
streaming
yes.
service.
well, you have HBO Max. It's on HBO
Yes.
Max. Go catch up.
Jody is?
Yeah.
I thought I kept looking to see if it was there and they
Yeah,
only had,
all of them, all of her episodes are now officially there. So.
oh, let me write that down.
Frank wishes he had HBO Max.
I don't have to wish. Doctor Who. All right,
Anyway, yes, Nan.
India, Pakistan.
Your comment about Disney and Marvel, the 6th episode, and I don't remember what series, but they're coming out with one that's going to be 18
Yeah,
episodes.
it's the new Daredevil series is going to be.
Yeah, we're not
Okay.
watching that.
We're
We are not watching that. Hey, back me up on this.
Oh, I'm like this.
I told you. Well, this could be it as far as I'm
18
concerned.
episodes.
The complaints is worse than 18 episodes as far as I'm
No, it's not. I
Yeah.
appreciate that Joel, ever the completist, wants us to stick to our original reason for joining. And I appreciate that.
Okay. Anyway,
100%.
But I'm not watching 18 episodes of Daredevil.
that's
I
fine.
am.
I will as well. I know Mark will be.
I'm
I
sure
know
Mark
Nick
is
will
too.
be.
Yeah.
So it's
I
just
will
maybe,
be.
the 4 of us will get together and do one of these without them. How's that?
Yes.
I'm fine. with that.
Only
I will even
15.
moderate it for you.
Okay.
But aim, say it with me. I abstain.
Courteously.
That doesn't seem courteous. Anyway,
Courteously.
anyway, back to Ms.Marvel. It was really enjoyable. I do want to watch it again, and will at some point when life kind of, at least when we get hot water back and I can concentrate on anything.
That explains your hair.
Yes, it does explain my hair. It's just a cold water, slick back.
Does not explain Nan's hair. She has
No,
hot
no.
water.
No, your hair doesn't look bad. Trust me.
I'm gonna go with Frank and Mark. There's a part of me that's like, I'll go with Annie, but I'm gonna go with Frank and Mark until I see it a second time. Then I things will even out a little.
No,
bit.
I get that too. I mean, it's the same with movies. I mean, there
Yeah.
are some movies where once you know where they're going, you're like, okay, now I need to see where all those pieces actually
Yeah.
fit.
Right.
So I think the same thing is true here.
Yeah.
And just going through it the one time, there's still a lot of how does that all fit in with the
Right.
thing
And,
that happened?
like we just finally watched Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness for the second time a few nights ago, and I liked it the first time. I still like it as much as I did. Thor: Love and Thunder. I don't know that I'm going to get to it anytime soon. So even when it winds up on Disney Plus. So
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. So Derek will be leaving his comments below. He said.
One thing I wanted to say I forgot was just that the 6th episode made up for it a bit with the whole caper in the school and them
Yeah.
preparing for battle. I thought that was very fun and very high school-ish,
Yeah. It kind of harkened back to those Goonies, Gremlins, kind
Yes.
of Home Alone things.
I have one
That's
quick question.
exactly what Annie said. Is this a Home Alone?
I have one quick question
That was wrong.
for everybody over 50 in the group. So Mark, you can close your ears or something. Is everybody else having an issue? And it's not just in this show, because there was a lot of it in this show where they're showing the phone screen and what they're texting, of having to squint, go back, look, get up close to the TV and go, what the hell are they typing?
I usually hit pause and I read it.
Okay.
I'm watching it on my computer screen. It looks fine.
I watch it on my cell phone so I can make it bigger.
Okay.
No,
You
but
hear
this-
that, boys? Nan can make it bigger.
But in this one, it kind of appeared not on the screen.
Yeah, no, it was,
Yeah.
but there were times where it was just on the screen and I'm like, I don't know what the hell that says.
Yeah.
I always just pause it because I really want to know exactly what was said. I could see it, okay, but sometimes it goes by just too quickly.
It's
Amy,
so
you wear
funny
glasses.
because
What?
you wear
I said you-
glasses, she said.
Well, yeah.
You four-eyed freak. No, I was saying that, it's so funny because you, Amy Goldman, feel like you're gonna miss something. You have to see every single thing because you're gonna miss something. But ultimately,
He
Yeah,
doesn't
ultimately, no.
He doesn't remember anyway.
Exactly.
ultimately you don't remember it. All right, so now we need to discuss the post-credit sequence, man, now. She gets blown into the closet and out comes Carol Danvers. And I did not know it was Freaky Friday already. So there's that. So, and then I read somewhere again that this is the setup for the Marvels, which will be all three of them, right?
Yes.
So,
Yeah, so things like that in Marvel don't bother me because everything is a setup for the next event. So I'm like, okay, I don't need to know what this means now. It'll mean something in 2 years. So I was like, oh, wow.
It'll mean something in May, I think.
Wow.
oh, is that soon?
Yeah, the Marvels is next May, I believe.
Yeah.
The only thing we read quickly is that that had to do with the bangles, and I think it's if one bangle and the other bangle can you can teleport or something like that.
The
So
Bangles, that girls group from the 80s?
Yes, they will
Yeah.
all be walking like Egyptians by the time the next year.
So
Like
one other,
Pakistanis.
one other question. So the clandestines are another dimension, not another multiverse. Totally different.
Yes, until they tell us otherwise.
And they probably will.
Or
But
they-
I enjoyed
the Skrulls will be back, and that
I
was
enjoyed
annoying.
that they also that the gin and tonic jokes about the
Yeah.
gins.
Yeah.
And the Skrulls will be back, which was very annoying to me. Nan, now do you have something about the post-credit sequence you'd like to say?
Wait,
I
why?
just-
Go ahead,
I'm
Nan.
sorry, Joel, go ahead. No,
No,
go ahead.
you go, Nan. I'll come back.
It was just, for me, the end credits, yeah, they kind of leave you hanging, not knowing there's something you're going to find out later on. This was just, I don't know, it was just, didn't
It's
make
exactly,
sense.
it was exactly that.
Well, I think it needed to be both. Okay, we're setting this up because we've got her and Captain Marvel and Monica Rambeau in the next Marvel, Captain Marvel movie, essentially. But I think they needed to put Brie Larson in there because she is Captain Marvel. She's the one that Ms.Marvel is obsessed with. So if she hadn't made some sort of real appearance, I think people would have been disappointed.
But that's,
Joel
I
was
think,
100%.
the only reason it was put in there.
Yes, pretty much.
There was no purpose to it other than, oh, by the way,
Yeah, setting up the next
Well,
movie. Yeah.
Well, but it'll pick up from there because now all of a sudden she's back here and Kamala is
Wherever
somewhere
Captain
else.
Marvel was.
I thought they were going to be sitting at a shawarma place because she said, I know a great shawarma place.
I thought that too. I was like, oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where Ms. Marvel went.
Maybe, yeah. Frank, just to quickly touch on your hatred of the Skrulls, apparently.
Ah,
They are coming back sooner than you think because there's a TV series called Secret Invasion that'll be on next year. So
I thought we loved the Scrolls.
Ben Mendelsohn was fantastic.
yes. But I did not
Right.
like the convenience of, oh no, it was a Skrull. It wasn't that person.
Oh, yeah.
oh, they do that. There's an entire comic book story. It may have actually been called Secret Invasion at this point. I don't remember, where it turned out the Skrulls had infiltrated the entire Marvel universe, and you didn't know who was who. So
Yeah,
That I would watch.
Yeah, but I
So
would
would
find that
I.
annoying. I would find that annoying. All right. All right, are we done with Ms. Marvel? And I'm very much looking forward to Iman in another one. Ms. Marvel is available on Disney Plus if you subscribe to that service. And next Monday, Nan will be gone, and we'll be discussing one
And
of
you'll miss
Joel's.
me.
Yeah.
And we will miss her like a gopher misses its hole. We're discussing one of Joel's suggestions, The Cheap Detective, which is on Prime if you want to watch it before Monday. I'm Frank Gaffney. If you're still watching,
God
Good Lord.
bless you.
Get a life. Oh wait,
we will MC you next week. Shut it off, Joel.
I'm sure.